I mean, we could play it cool and act like we didn't already shoot this episode months ago, but it's currently on this thing, which we are having a hard time getting it off of, because the other two shoot toast cards, this sucker shoots on tape. And it's not cooperating, so damn you, giant camera eye. How dare you? Camera eye is out of commission. So what do we got? We finally get to break into the Finnish liquor that our friend Rita brought with her many months ago, many months ago, brought with her on her great New York adventure. And we met up with her. And the first one, I think I'm only drinking because it is a licorice one. It also needs to be served, chilled and shaken. Oh me God, that is black as sin. That is black sass. Holy. Whoa. So that's what they do when the long never-ending nights. So, and like Finland will laugh at me pronunciation. From what I understand, this is called, salmari. Cold spiteful language. It's some. Is this like, is the backwards like corn? Is the backwards like a backwards? It's rad. You know what? It is Finland. I feel like that could be. They did give it use lordy. Anyway, I just want to read the thing on the back of it though. Deep in its dark licorice-infused heart is an unforgettable drinking experience waiting to be released. Drink as shots, but done to be missiled. Experience the spirit of Finland and taste Finnish folklore. This is appropriate since we re talking about a book that's going to take place in India. I know, which is the opposite of Finland. How appropriate of us. I'm embracing the heart of Finland right now. Oh, so that's the heart of Finland. Okay. How's the heart of Finland? It's licorice. It's got the winter chill on it. Also the bitter of forever night. The boredom of never seeing the sun. Yeah. It's a lot nicer than Jager. Oh yeah. Oh, who know what? Yeah, totally. So, like considerably. So, all right. And then we have our other things courtesy of Rita. Wall stuff, because we need wall stuff. Like, yeah. Including the fan art from Nellas Tedger's courtesy cats. Ivy actually got to print some of those up and put them on because they are delightful. But if you want to give us alcohol from your region of the world, that's okay too. We totally accept any. Find a way to ship it. Technically illegal in New York. When we last left off last season, which is totally deliberate that we divvied this up between several months. When we last left off, it was, we were going to talk about some people's ideas for the outline and we were going to review The Girl with All the Gifts, which we will do next episode. Also a lot of stuff, like we leaving Channel Awesome. So that's our thing. Yeah. Oh, if you re-watching this on Channel Awesome, you might want to start following us on Twitter or something. Yeah. Oh, follow us over Toshi Apocalypse. Yeah. This will probably be the last episode on Channel Awesome. So it's been really all. Yeah. We going to still go just as separate entities flying free. We leaving the nest. Yeah. We had a bunch of comments that were just ideas for a Woken Book 2, which what was it? Was it going to be? It was either Arizen or Aliven. Yeah. We haven't decided yet. Yeah. We still haven't, we haven't, or another Mary. No, I feel like another has to be book 3. I just feel like after 2, Like when we actually get around to writing 3, people would be like another. 'Cause it's been a little while. Oh, what was the basic thrust of the book or this plot? And obviously it will. You will appreciate it more if you follow Nella's Tiger's Curse recaps. Yes. Which I also took a break from. It's like, that scene where Sam and Frodo are on the mountains, like the slopes of Mount Doom, and it's like, no, I can't remember, the taste of food. Or, water or light. That's what Tiger's Curse has been for me. And you had to finish that 'cause it's like this. This book is more like where Orkin was more parody of Twilight. This one is more parody of Tiger's Curse. So if you're curious as to what that means, definitely go check up the recaps of Tiger's Curse under Let's Raid with Nella. I've been getting comments from people saying like, just your recaps are painful for us. Like this book is terrible. The most amazingly redundant book. Oh, it's so redundant. So the basic plot of Awoken Book 2, Arisen or Aliven, kind of like Aliven, 'cause I feel like that was a big complaint with the first one, was that it was too stealth a parody. Yeah. And like, maybe it's just like, what. We had our fun being kind of a stealth parody. Maybe let's go a little more cracked out. Yeah. So the thrust of Book 2 is, it starts with this sort of Breaking Dawn thing where, not Edward, Riley leaves her for her own good again, because he did that in the first book. Although I'm really, after reading Tiger's Curse, I really do feel like it has to be like the rich, like family member, like the ex-Bollywood uncle who flees in a school trip to India. You will. You want to just like an excuse for Mr. Cadam. Yes, I do. Who needs an excuse? Mr. Cadam is the only redeeming factor of Tiger's Curse. No, we could have that. And then it turns out it was Uncle Neil the whole time. Like he wanted to get some balls rolling. Oh yeah. Like, oh, it was me all along. I was the turkey. But then would Uncle Neil then be able to drive a car out of the Ganges? Because I really have this mental image in my head of him driving a car out of the Ganges, and it's kind of delightful. Well, I don't know. Here's the thing. I kind of feel like Uncle Neil and Academa like are a little mutually exclusive. But then, both characters would be kind of redundant since Uncle Neil was the awesome character that you wanted the book to be about and who keeps getting cut off. So the basic thrust is we go to India. Somehow or other there's like a super powerful thing that happens and everyone assumes that Andy is the special Lego movie style because she is the, she says the white girl that outnatives the natives a la Avatar and all that fun stuff. But then eventually the plot happens, and we find out that Vic is the special. Yeah. But like everything just lines up just so it makes it seem like it was her. Yeah. And everyone just assumes it's her. Except for Bry. I think Bry would be the one like foreshadowing things. I don't know. It's like, this prophecy says born of this land. My great-grandmother's Cherokee. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. It's like Andy should have like a great something that was like English but she like was born in India. I think. So that's why she thinks. I don't know. I'm still kind of enamored with Cherokee Princess, but I don't even know if Andy is that dense. I know. Well, things to ponder. Which kind of Indian should Andy claim? Haley suggests that all the other kids in Andy's class be respectful and understanding of Indian culture in the background, But Andy is just the hapless white savior princess who has no idea of anything at all. Do we want to do like the totally like over-the-top like caste discrimination? Like, should there be like overt caste discrimination? I don't think Sarah would know about the caste system. Sarah would know about this system. No, but I feel like, I feel like that's that thing that Westerners like. I don't know. It's like Colleen Houck did. She kind of like mentioned it in this like it read a Wikipedia article. Or that like, well, this happened in the past. Like she'd like conflate Varnus with caste. You know, like okay, there's 4 Varnus, but there's like 90 bajillion castes. And she's like, well, they read the same thing. Yeah, you know, and like I read the Wikipedia article. It's like a kaimakshitraya. And like, and then that's all you need to know. I mean, maybe someone could be like, wait a minute. That you know, it's like there's a lot of castes and Varnus and castes. Like, sh. That should be Bree. Bree should always be the voice of Bree. You. And Tolibera, also speaking of Bree, suggests that Vic and Bree maybe hook up as a sort of parody of Rena's Me Jacob. We got to find a way to make that creepy if we going to go that way. I know. Creepier. It has to be creepy. But let's get back to the tiff. Okay. Because you know, in the beginning like, I think the idea was that he would, or that Riley would accidentally treat a soul snack on Andy. Oh ho. Well, they were together. Oh yeah. Like she's. But Tolibero writes that Riley's no soul snacks. I think he should go after criminals because, and I quote, I selected them because I want to make the world safer for you. Yeah. And like, the tiff maybe. Either she'd be that super romantic. No, she's like. No, I think it's like he almost soul snacks her, like in their sleep or something. Yeah. And then, like afterwards, while he's gone out, like he sleeps snacks. Yeah. He goes out and states his lust. He's like, I found some petty thieves. Yeah. They were arrested on minor drug charges. Oh my God. They were 16. See, they were 16. Oh God. And she's like, well, that's great that you only go after criminals. I don't know. I like the idea that but he only goes after criminals. But it's like drug. That would certainly knock off a whole bunch of people of our Patreon folks that have been donating money. That's a good point. So, the petty criminal. Again, some of you might be petty criminals. We didn't promise that the people who Patreon on that top level would get to do. Like, not only are they going to be written into the book, but they get to do a horrible being eaten by Cthulhu death. So that's not incentive. I don't know what is. Aurelia Verity writes that. At first, Andy speaks about how clearly important it is to do missionary work and help people and how they are going to change people's lives while they are there. And clearly, at this point, these will be Sarah's words. And Andy is just the mouthpiece. And like that whole idea, like, well, maybe there's a missionary element. Maybe like, she doesn't use that word. Like building houses. It's like Habitat for Humanity. It's a field trip. It's weird. It's like whatever. They rebuilding wells. We do that. Do that. That's a really popular thing to do. Like, Arthur Limbaugh suggests that the whole India thing is framed like the Lizzie McGuire movie. And and there's like this part. For instance, there's this part where Lizzie rides on a motorcycle with like a random stranger. She gets to ride on like an elephant with Vic. Ethnic third wheel. Well, going back to Aurelia, they write. Although they on a school trip, Vic and Andy just wander off into different cities and temples for hours and days. And no teacher or supervisor cares or notices. Which, yes, I think that absolutely needs. So like, and then there's an elephant that happens. I think there needs. There has to be a romantic elephant at some point. And also like just to run with Tiger's curse. Absolutely no forms are signed. No worries about passports. No worries about paperwork. It's just like a week before the plane takes off. Like someone's like, hey kids, let's zig wells in India over spring break. And you like, that's the legitist thing. Shixabel suggests possibly inappropriate comparison between Andy and Riley's relationship and the Ramayana. But perhaps that would be giving Sarah too much credit. I agree. But she could just get it wildly wrong. I think that's a wiki article. Yeah. Inujade points out that you could in universe call Loki and his elk the young gods as opposed to the Lovecraftian old gods. Because remember, the joke or our basic plot was there was going to be some like pseudo-Indian bad guy. And then it turns out it was Loki the whole time. And that's going to be the plot. And he's trying to bring about Ragnarok. But then going back to the God thing. And Piano Slave points out, going off the multiple God idea, maybe there can be a council where all the different gods get together and talk like in the Vampire Council thing in New Moon. Or we could save that for the third book. I feel like that could be the opening of the third book. Like all the gods gathering. Ye like turns out there's like a big God council. And maybe Sarah actually kind of has like an imagination. I don't know. Presander the Great brings up the romantic scene between Vic and Andy should be inspired by the magic carpet ride from Aladdin. Yes. Ye. Absolutely. Except it should be a romantic elephant ride under the stars. So I think we all on the same page here. Ye. Ye. And it should be really direct. Like, tell me, Andy, when did you last let your heart decide? And finally, Froglet suggests that Andy should be jealous of a woman whose soul Riley is trying to eat. Maybe in that sort of, it's not what it looks like scenario. Absolutely. I hope she's also a petty drug criminal. Well, I mean, she has like an ounce of marijuana and deserves to do. Yeah. So thus with our little outline begins our season 2. So, yeah. What would you like to see, Nella? Is it technically season 3 at this point? So thus, stuff is strong. Ye. It hurts your head. Noble liquor. Noble. So thus with our little outline, we start our season 3. So at the beginning of season 2, we started reviewing things in addition to working on the Viridian Saga. Ye. What would you like to see this season? Nella. Oh gosh. Oh, God. I think I would just like to see some better books with female protagonists and, love on the romance and maybe on the sci-fi fantasy element. Especially on the ya side. Ye. Hashtag never. Well, there's also, we might branch into interviews more because we did that once last season. Ye. So what do you want us to read? Ye. So now we need to start whittling down our so of course, there is of course this. A sequel, which we didn't even really discuss the first one except this is the fan wow this is I know, as it pertained to lock-in this, but that is something to consider. But of course, also keep in mind that, I am still working on Tiger's curse. Ye. So if we could, you might lay off. Well, if we could lay off the really terrible books, that'd be nice. That's a good point. Ye. I feel like while we making fun of things like Tiger's Curse and writing things like Awoken, when we do our read-alongs, we want to at least think that, experience girl, take the genres that we like and make them rise above, I mean, Shades of Grey filled me with a powerful hate, but it was thoughtful. It was a thoughtful hate. It was so powerful. It was a thoughtful hate. There was a lot of thinking and discussion and all sorts of fun things. I think that was the wonderful thing about The Girl with All the Gifts, which we are going to be discussing next time. So if you can get a hold of it, do and follow along with us. Yes. Spoilers. It is excellent. It's so good. Like it's going to be a really boring episode because it's just going to be gushing. So, but oh, the gushing. It's going to be some profound gushing. So, going to be profound. Go profound. Such gush. You. So tell us what you'd like us to talk about this season. If there's any kind of branching out that might interest you, author interviews or genre, bear in mind we want to branch out too much. Ye. And as always, leave comments at sheapocalypse.com. Those are where we actually tabulate the comments because we have a system. This is where we if you read on YouTube, go to Sheapocalypse, come where there are comments allowed. And as always, follow us on Twitter at Sheapocalypse. You can follow Sarah on Twitter as well. Hopefully she will start updating with her observations on the writing life and hashtag #amwriting and hashtag blessed and all that fun stuff. Let's have a good and productive 2015. Have a good, productive 20. Cheers. Cheers.